I risked everything at 38 to become a pilot. Most people think if you haven't started flying by your 20s, you've missed the boat. I started at 38 with 2 kids, a business behind me, and no idea if any of it was even possible. But fast forward to today, I'm a Qantas Pilot Academy graduate with my commercial license, ratings and endorsements, and I've recently sat my Qantas Group Pilot interview for an airline job. If you've ever thought it's too late to chase aviation, then this video is for you. G'day guys, I'm Andrew, welcome to The Quiet Achiever. On this channel, I help aspiring pilots and anyone else chasing big dreams figure out the real path forward. My motto is simple: see it, believe it, achieve it. And today, I want to share my journey on becoming a pilot later in life and the lessons you can use no matter where you're starting from. Before aviation, I've lived a few very different lives. This time about a year and a half ago, I walked away from running and owning my own manufacturing business. At its peak with around 30 staff across 3 different departments for the better part of almost 10 years. Prior to that, I toured the world as a professional drummer, playing at some of the biggest events and festivals all over the world, a career spanning almost 15 years. And before that, I was fortunate enough to represent New South Wales and Australia as a 100-200 metre sprinter back in the early 2000s. I thought I knew what hard work and risk really looked like, but nothing prepared me for the challenge of chasing aviation later in life. Growing up in Housing Commission near Sydney Airport, flying was always in the background, but life had other plans for me. I needed to get a job, make money, figure things out the hard way, chasing what I thought normal success looked like. Over time, I found myself feeling trapped. On the surface, I had the house, the cars, the business, the family, but inside I was pretty miserable. My business consumed me, my overall health and fitness was at an all-time low, but it wasn't really until COVID hit that everything started falling apart. I was starting to think that it really couldn't get any worse at that point. But as hard as it was, COVID gave me an excuse and a bit of a wake-up call to change things up and wake the old Andrew back up. That lit a small fire in me. I thought, if I can fail at the safe option, doing something I pretty much hate, then why not risk it all, chasing something I might actually love? Flying had always been the dream. Then one night out at dinner, a mate casually said he was going up for his first flying lesson. That hit me like a lightning bolt, and I remember thinking to myself, I've got to do this. So I went up for a TIFF that same week and I was hooked. I knew right then and there I was going all in. I had to give this everything. Here's the truth though, it wasn't easy. Back then, I wasn't the person I needed to be to succeed in this. Years of stress had turned me into a bit of a workaholic, and quite honestly, a bit of an alcoholic too. I lived on takeout food, I barely exercised, and I felt like a shell of my former self, years earlier. That first flight really lit a fire inside of me, but I knew if I wanted to be a pilot, I had to make some really big changes. And slowly but surely, over time, I did. I got back into the gym, I cleaned up my diet, I cut alcohol out of my life completely, and I started to build the discipline I knew I'd need for flying if I wanted to try and make a career out of it. I chipped away at lessons, earned my RPL, then took up gliding, which pushed me even further both physically and mentally. The more I flew, the more I realised this wasn't just a hobby. I wanted it to be my career. I spent 2 years going through Defence Force recruiting and pilot aptitude testing. I made it through to ASP and OSB stages, and I was successful with an offer for pilot. Around the same time, I heard about the Qantas Group Pilot Academy, pretty much a direct airline pathway. I applied there too, sat the testing and interviews, and to my surprise, I was accepted there as well. At 38, I had a pretty big decision to make. Do I go the defence route or do I try and go into the airlines? I'd always dreamed of being an airline pilot, and I knew QGPA would also give my family some stability. And being a little bit older, I realised I had to think about the most important people in my life as well. So I made the jump and I took the QGPA offer. That meant 55 weeks of intense training up in Toowoomba, while my wife and kids were living overseas near the Himalayas. It was the first time I'd been away from them for more than a week. There were nights where I questioned everything. Am I too old? Am I smart enough? Am I making a huge mistake? But aviation doesn't care how old you are. It cares about your discipline, your effort, and your ability to learn. And when you stay consistent, even through self-doubt and bad days, people around you start believing in your vision too. My family became my biggest supporters. Fast forward to graduation day, standing there in my uniform, wings on my chest, delivering my speech as course leader and the student committee president of QG37, I realised the risk had been worth it. Today I hold my commercial licence with all the ratings and endorsements needed to start my airline career. Just last week I completed my Qantas Group interview. But more than that, I proved to myself, and hopefully to you too, that it's never too late to chase what you want. I've learnt so much along the way, and my mission now is to help others do it faster, smarter, and with less wasted time, money, and doubt. So if you're watching this thinking, maybe I missed my chance, well, I'm here to tell you that you haven't. Whether you're 19 or 49, it's about taking that first step. I created this channel to help people just like you chase big, ambitious goals. So if you want to prepare properly for a career as a pilot, then check out my free community, Pilot Cadet Prep. The link is in the description below. Well, that's it from me, guys. If this video helped, hit subscribe. I've got plenty more coming every week. Thanks for watching, and remember, see it, believe it, achieve it. See you in the skies.